I didn't intervene when my husband realized he forgot something important. My husband Evan has never forgotten anything in his life. Birthdays, anniversaries, dentist appointments, oil changes. The man has a mental calendar that puts Google to shame. So when I watched him walk out the door that morning without his laptop bag, I didn't say a word. Let me explain why. 3 weeks ago, Evan's mother came to stay with us for what was supposed to be a weekend visit. That weekend turned into a week. That week turned into 3. Every single day, she found something wrong with how I ran my household. The dishes weren't stacked correctly. The laundry was folded wrong. My cooking was too salty, too bland, too ethnic. But the worst part wasn't her criticism. It was Evan's silence. He never defended me. Not once. When his mother told me I should learn to cook like a real wife, he just kept eating. When she asked why I hadn't given her grandchildren yet, he excused himself to watch TV. Last Tuesday was the breaking point. Evan's mother found my journal in the nightstand while she was supposedly looking for a phone charger. She read it out loud at dinner. Every insecurity I'd ever written about myself, every fear about our marriage, every doubt I'd confided only to those pages. Evan sat there and listened to the whole thing. When I started crying and asked her to stop, his mother said I was being dramatic. Evan nodded. He actually nodded in agreement with her. That night, I told him how betrayed I felt, how humiliated, how alone. He said I was overreacting, that his mother was just being helpful, that I needed to be less sensitive. Then he said the words that changed everything. If you can't handle a little criticism from my mother, maybe you're not cut out for this family. I didn't sleep that night. I just lay there thinking about the woman I'd become since marrying him. Smaller, quieter, always apologizing for existing in my own home. The next morning, his mother announced she was extending her stay indefinitely. Evan smiled and said that was wonderful news. I made a decision right then. I was done being his translator, his buffer, his emotional labor. So when Evan walked out that Thursday morning without his laptop bag, the one containing his entire presentation for the biggest meeting of his career, I watched him go. I saw the bag sitting on the kitchen counter. I knew he had a 9 a.m. meeting with investors worth $3 million. I knew his entire promotion depended on this presentation. I said nothing. His mother was sipping coffee at the table, watching me watch him leave. She even said you should tell him he forgot his bag. I smiled and said he's a grown man. He can figure it out. She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. Evan called me at 8:47 a.m. in complete panic. He just arrived at the office and realized his mistake. The meeting was in 13 minutes. There was no time to come back home. I could have told him I'd bring it. I could have saved his entire career with a 20-minute drive. Instead, I said, "That's unfortunate. Maybe your mother can help you figure it out." Then I hung up. His mother stared at me from across the kitchen. For the first time since she arrived, she was completely silent. Evan came home that night looking destroyed. The investors had walked out. His boss had pulled him aside. The promotion was gone. He looked at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Hurt, confused, lost. "Why didn't you bring me my bag? You knew I needed it." I set down my book and looked at him. "Why didn't you defend me when your mother read my journal? You knew I needed it." The room went completely still. His mother tried to interject with something about how that was different, but Evan held up his hand to stop her. He stood there for a long moment. Then he walked to his mother's guest room and started packing her suitcase himself. She left that night. Evan and I talked until 3 a.m. Really talked. For the first time in our entire marriage. He apologized for everything. For his silence. For his cowardice. For choosing comfort over me. I told him one forgotten laptop bag cost him a promotion. 3 weeks of forgotten loyalty almost cost him a wife. We start couples therapy on Monday.